How's it, guys? Welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Today we're doing analysis on Nasdaq. Nasdaq will be the only analysis we're doing tonight. So before we hit the charts, just go visit my website. It's on the bottom left corner here, where you can find all my previous analysis. Also some nice resources on the website. For those of you that are starting out on trading, just go visit the website. There's some nice categories there for getting started and some nice strategies. And under the Let's Get Trading, there's some more, info on trading and how to, go about doing currency trading or Nasdaq trading or whatever trading you are doing. There's all these nice material that you can learn from. Also under the brokers tab, there's my preferred brokers, especially when you're trading Nasdaq. These guys are one of the best in their spreads and their margins on Nasdaq. So just go visit them, A-Book Brokers. They are really, really reliable. Okay, so let us hit the chart. So Nasdaq analysis, we're doing some top-down analysis from the daily down to the hourly. On the hourly time frame today, we're going to be looking at some in-depth on where we did the previous, went from the previous analysis and what happened during the week as well, and what we are looking for towards this coming week. So daily analysis, or the daily time frame, we are seeing that Nasdaq is still respecting this area over there. It's a nice resistance area. We're looking at some little bit of an upwards movement in the market. We're trying to see when Nasdaq is actually going to start turning to the upside, as it's basically where market is going to start moving up again after this big downward spiral that happened after obviously the war in Ukraine. So Nasdaq every now and then, for those of you that does trade Nasdaq, it moves in one direction and then something happens, fundamentally something in the world which will bring the markets down a little bit, kind of correcting the markets. We had it in Corona. We had it before that was the war, the cyber war between China and the US, then Corona, then now this war in the Ukraine. So basically, there's always something that happens that Nasdaq moves in a big upwards direction, and somewhere along the line it will just spiral down, and then after that we will see that big push again where market starts coming right again. Any case, but still market is on the downside, or after this big downwards movement, we're looking at somewhere along the line market will start breaking up and we can start buying up again in Nasdaq. But currently it is hitting that resistance area, upwards movement. We see this kind of a wedge forming, so we're looking for some kind of a break upwards, return, and then or retracement, and then moving up. Or will Nasdaq continue down, because there's a lot of things happening in the US currently. But daily time frame, we're looking at that. Let's move on to the hourly time, the 4 hourly time frame, and let's see what's happening on the 4 hourly time frame. Nothing much to speak of. We know on the daily time frame that this is this trend line that's moving upwards. We have got this area here, but currently we are looking at some volatility, or not volatility, some liquidity lying just above this area over here. So we still have liquidity not being tapped into over here above this line. Okay, and we have got liquidity all over the place down here. Basically market just all these orders, buy or sell stops are still lying above or below all these areas. So I'm highlighting 2 areas in the market for the 4 hourly. Let's see what happens if it breaks one of these, or will it tap into some liquidity, move down, building up some momentum or something like that. We will have to have a look. 1 hour time frame. Excuse me. So on the 1 hour time frame, just want to go back a little bit, just taking out this line that we just drew. On a 1 hour time frame, previous analysis, for those of you that did not watch my previous analysis on Nasdaq, I will put the link in the description. But previously we had 2 lines drawn out. Okay, it was just doing this so we can see it clearer. So it was basically this line that the previous week ended. Just going to highlight this area, and this is what I always do in my analysis. I like to draw little lines just to see, what market will do, especially on the hourly time frame, and react to that. Okay, I do some analysis. I will just look at the top down analysis, from the daily downwards, just to see what market is doing and what type of a trend it is in, where we expecting market to do or to go. And then on the hourly time frame, this is where I draw. So last analysis that I did, I had these two lines in. Okay, price was relatively, in between these lines, and I said we're looking for some kind of a break in between these two lines, and then we will react to that. So basically what happened is, obviously we can see that the market broke the bottom line. So market broke that line, okay, and then it came and retested. Okay, so there's two setups that you could have taken in that. Number one is obviously if you use the Fibonacci only, okay, but I don't just use the Fibonacci on itself. So you had a Fibonacci that you drew from the swing high to that swing low. Market retraced all the way. And where does it retrace to? It retraces to the area between the 62 and the 79%. And usually when price gets to the 62 area line, which it did, just tapped into that line and then moved downwards. And you could have caught that nice little sell downwards. Okay? And look at those amount of pips. And if you had held it on to that trade, you could have caught it all the way to the bottom. Another method, which I always talk about, is my imbalance of the candles and the fair value gap. So we have that big push downwards, big bearish movement, then retracement up, and then a little bit retracement. So the area between the two candles is a fair value gap, and we'll always talk about that. Also, link will be in the description when I talk about that, for those of you that haven't watched that video. So you can see price gets drawn towards that area, fills that gap nicely to the middle, and then starts moving down. So you have two confirmations of a nice sell area. You have the fair value gap, number one. You have your Fibonacci on number two. Okay, so those are the two areas that you could have sold, and you could have made some nice profits going downwards. Then we moved on, price hitting a bottom, then it started moving up again. Obviously, big news events happening here. As you can see, this is always affecting NASDAQ. I will still make a video about how fundamentals affect NASDAQ. I have had some requests regarding that, so be on the lookout for that video. Any case, so we're just scrolling down. So NASDAQ made a bottom, came up again, and then retraced back to that bottom and started moving up. Okay, so where did NASDAQ break? Where could you have taken another area or another trade? Basically over here, as we can see, there's a nice structure break. So NASDAQ came, hit that area, comes back, and then with a big push through that break, basically breaking some structure over there and then retracing back. Where does it retrace back to? Again, there's a gap in between these two candles, as you can see. Okay, there's a little gap forming, which is the fair value gap from that tip of that wick to that wick. And look at how NASDAQ beautifully comes and draws back into that area, and you start buying up, ending up the week with a nice little buy setup. Okay, so that's two little trades that you could have taken on NASDAQ in the beginning of the week, and then towards the end, beautiful little entries that you could have taken. So now what we're looking at, I'm just taking out all this, I'm just going to take out all this information. So again, we're going to end up this week or this analysis by looking at two areas and focusing on those. So we're going to be looking at this high, which has not been taken out yet, okay, which is NASDAQ or price is getting close to. So that's our high. This is our previous high. You can see how NASDAQ just tapped into that and went up. So we're looking at that high. And then we are going to be looking at, I'm just going to draw a little line over here as well. So that is going to be my next one. So any price movement beyond these two lines, we will be reacting to that. Okay, so keep that in mind. If price breaks above that, it will form some kind of a, retracement back somewhere, either the Fibonacci from this swing low, from that swing high, retracing back and then moving up, or it's just going to tap into that liquidity, start moving down again, and then we're going to look for another sell opportunity. Again, we are reacting to what market gives us, right? That is basically what's going to happen. So keep an eye on that. With NASDAQ, drill down to your lower time frames, guys. You will be catching sweeter entries and more sniper entries on your lower time frames, even to the 1 minute time frame. So guys, the analysis I'm doing here, the way that I trade with the Fibonacci and the fair value gaps, go look at it on the 15 minutes, a very important time frame for catching those trades, for entering your trades, okay? And then even down to your 5 minutes and 1 minute. So guys, that's all from my side for tonight or today. Let's, hope we have a wonderful, pipful week ahead. I hope you guys are staying safe. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell for more trading content coming to you this week. Good night, guys, and have a blessed week ahead.